Welcome to the WellPlayed DLC podcast, Australia's juiciest gaming podcast. I'm your host this week, Zach Jackson. Joining me is Mr. Adam Ryan
Hello, that's me. I'm here.
and Nathan Hennessy rounding us out.
Oh, good day. And wait, a little tip of my hat to the viewer.
Oh,
Yeah.
got a full hat gang tonight. Look at us go. Beaks
What
out
you
for the
got
boys.
We
That's it,
balding
mate.
fellas?
What do you got on yours?
I've got Auntie. I'm repping Auntie Donna.
Right,
Yep.
so
Looks like we've got a bit of Tommy over on the Nathan side of things.
some
Zachary,
knockoff Tommy.
what obscure bullshit do you have on your cap? Because I know that's
Show and tell, mate.
I know that's what you're leading to. So please tell us.
No, well, I thought people might want to know why I'm wearing a fucking red hat. I'm just giving a little bit
As
of
opposed to
well, a lemon hat. Who the fuck knows? But you know,
a lemon
this
hat.
week,
I want that.
This week, I want to just give a little bit of airtime to my boys at FC Vaduz over there in Liechtenstein. Big fans of the podcast. So, they sent me this hat. I thought I'd, just pump out some Vaduz love there. So
I reckon they're
Thank
trying
you.
to recruit you because they're
How much
low
are
on
they paying?
players. Yeah, right.
mate, that's a rich little pocket of Europe there, mate.
So
Is it
The
like the
Prince-
neighbours that charge fucking 60 Australian dollars for a bowl of soup?
That's basically it. Yes.
Yeah, cool.
And the royal family who lives there, they actually own the team. So, I mean, if the prince wants to sign me up, you know where I am.
So they're effectively a different Saudi league. Is that what I'm understanding?
no, bro.
Oh, let's
Difference? Is it different? I'm sorry. Apologies, Liechtenstein.
let's pivot from that. I don't know if that's
Liechtenstein's just looking at all this lack of blood on their hands. Fuck, what did we do?
I probably should take the hat off now, eh?
It's bad optics, brother. Shit. The hat's red too. Maybe they do have blood on their
know.
hands. I'm sorry. We can move on.
What have you been up to in the last week, Mr. Zach?
Well, glad you asked, Nathan. I've been to PAX. Maybe you've heard of it,
Oh,
PAX Australia.
Oh, the
both-
Penny Arcade exhibition.
That's it with the big ibis. Me and
Big ibis.
I don't know if there actually is a big ibis, but I just remember.
Yeah,
there being
yeah.
an
It's
ibis
like their
at some
mascot.
point.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it in one,
What-
mate.
Oh, look at me go! I know
Look at
I know my bin birds. So me and Adam, had a great time, which we'll talk about. But Nathan, what have you been up to, my friend?
I've been working my butt off. It's busy season, and I've been, me specifically, been dealing with a lot of end of year sports clubs. Yeah, lots
Ooh.
of end of year sports clubs. It's been cool. Netball girls are a lot of fun. I mean that purely respectfully. Those girls have been the most fun. Yeah, the netball girls are a lot of fun. What games, boys? Any games outside of PAX? Any games the last week?
Trying to think if there's been anything that's not semi-content related. I think the only game that I have been playing and want to be playing is the game that we'll talk about shortly, because I've injected it directly into my veins over the last couple of weeks. But Zachary might have something that's not content related. I'm not sure. Otherwise, we've just been on the grind, apparently.
I mean, I'll talk about something very quickly. I'll give it a little 30-second spruik. But I've been playing Absolum. Absolum. I don't actually know how you would say that. This is the beat 'em up roguelike from Dotemu. The French, I think they're French. French developer, along with Guard Crush Games, who you might know from Streets of Rage 4.
Bang on.
Thought it was French.
Now, I have only played a handful of hours, maybe like 3, and both of you probably would know that roguelikes not really my thing. Like, I'm more of a just let me actually play it, let me beat it, and let me just do it, right? For some reason,
I do distinctly remember having to explain to you the concept of a roguelite as recently as when Returnal came out.
That checks
That was
out.
3-4 years
recent.
ago, so
yeah,
recent.
that's 4 years,
Roguelikes,
isn't
which
it?
have been around for like is significantly
Well,
longer than that since
I'll
Rogue,
just,
Tell him.
which was in what 2000. Hang on, I'm going to
That
check
was the
when Rogue came
90s,
out.
wasn't it? No.
Yeah,
and my 30
Rogue
seconds is up.
game.
So
Originally developed in 1980. Don't even worry about it.
84.
Anyway, I've just never really gotten around them, and I've never been able to quite understand. Well, up until Returnal, what they were. So um, anyway, so this is this is like a beat 'em up roguelike, and I'm really fucking liking it. I really enjoy the mechanics and how it feels. So this is not beat 'em up like in the sense of Streets of Rage. So this is a like a fantasy kind of thing going on. So rather than a
Or
little
hack and slash, isn't it?
a little bit, yeah. So it's like a hack 'em up. I don't know. I don't know how like what you would
I
say,
like
right?
that.
Like
Yes.
because you got two
Go with
characters.
that.
I can't remember their names. It's probably been a week since I've actually played it, but there's one guy who's like a I don't know if he's a dwarf, but he's like a dwarfy kind of like character, like a short, stocky kind of guy. He's the guy that kind of uses his fists a bit more. Then there's another kind of almost like, and I'm being a bit reductive here, but you know, like you got your dwarf from Lord of the Rings, and you got Orlando Bloom, like an elf kind of style
You got
design.
Gimli,
I'm just
you
trying to
got
think.
Aragorn.
Well, yeah. And that character has like the sword and stuff like that, and it's just super fucking satisfying. It's really fun to play, and even though I actually haven't beaten a run yet, I've gotten close a couple times. It gets a bit hard, as you'd probably expect with like kind of I guess that's kind of a thing for roguelikes.
Mhm.
But I've got it's just scratching the itch, man. Like it's making me want to go back and play it again, because what's really cool is I mean, again, this is I'm probably telling you what a roguelike is, yeah. Like each different run, you get different abilities and shit, so it's not the same level over and over again. Yes, it's the same kind of level in terms of its where it takes place, but you're getting these different perks and buffs and stuff every different run. So one run is not the same. Hey, roguelike. But
Bloody nailed
but
it.
yeah,
Good on him.
really, really cool. Art style is fucking phenomenal. Soundtrack
Oh
is
my
really,
God,
really cool.
isn't it?
Voice acting is like good and kind of a bit average, but it all kind of really just works. And there's one thing that I really quite love, and Adam, I told you about this, but Nathan, have you played Streets of Rage 4?
Not yet, no.
No.
But I
No,
know
well,
exactly like what it looks
yeah.
like and how it sounds, and it's very pretty.
If anyone is listening and you've played that game, when you kind of beat up a character and you kind of knock them off screen, and they kind of go off screen, and then they just can't kind of walk, they kind of wander back. This game is really cool.
100%.
So your screen is like, imagine it's like squash. Like they will bounce off the walls, and you like so you can actually do this kind of cool thing where you kind of throw them against the wall, and then they'll bounce back off the wall, and you can keep kicking them. Yeah, it's quite neat. It's kind of rather than see them go off screen and kind of wander back in, and you go around and fight someone else, you can kind of I'm really, really liking it. I got no idea where it's sit critically, because I know that reviews are out. I know James has been playing it, and it
It's
doesn't quite.
sitting high.
Is it?
Let's
Yeah,
get
I mean,
a
that
quick number on that.
doesn't surprise me. I'm gonna guess like
The
80.
character design goes exceptionally hard as well.
Yeah.
Like this game looks incredible.
I'd give you the premise,
87 on
but I've forgotten.
OpenCritic.
87, yeah, right.
Delicious.
I would consider that very positive.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think, and this might surprise not many people, but James is not quite. I don't think he's as high on it. I think he really likes the combat, like the beat 'em up, or sorry, the hack 'em up part of it, but I don't think he loves the roguelike part of it.
Okay.
I think
So
from what I've heard, that's not an uncommon take. I think it's
criticism.
it seems to be vibing with some people and then really, really not vibing with others. So it seems like an acquired taste having that little roguelike
well, I've
tinge.
kind of been doing little pops here. I mean, I've been a little bit of Absolum, and a little bit of Battlefield 6, which we'll talk about. A little bit of FIFA, not FIFA, sorry,
Vista FIFA.
naughty, FC 26. To kind of
Can you play as that club in
no,
EAFC 26?
No, only the first division in the Swiss league gets in there. Second division, not a thing. That they have been in there before. They normally rank about 1 star though, but I still give
Devastating.
you a run. So I think my
Loves an
time
underdog.
with it, I haven't played like a good chunk of hours with it. I reckon I might fall in. I don't know where I'd fall. Right, like I think at some point I'd want to just fucking play the game. Like I'd get frustrated with maybe not being able to beat the run. But right now, I kind of been doing a thing where it's like I might play for an hour one night, do a run and a couple of runs maybe, and I come and then I come back like the next day or another day after. So rather than having a good chunk sitting down, but right now
you've kind of explained the appeal of roguelikes for me. I like
Yeah.
that come back, pop an hour in a day kind of thing, slow
yeah,
progress.
I'm just wondering like if I'm still here a week later, putting let's say another 3 or 4 hours into it, and I still haven't beaten a run, that's when I'll be like, I just want to fucking move on now. Yeah.
It's an acquired taste in general, I think, the roguelike genre. Not everyone's going to vibe with the kind of,
And
fail and then back to
frustration.
the start. Yeah.
Frustration
but
remains
yeah.
a part of the experience.
It feels really good. So hopefully we get a review up. I think we're going to try and do a piece of some sort at the very least, James and I. So we'll see where that lands. FC 26, more of what it is. There have been some tweaks. It plays a little bit different, but ultimately it's still kicking the ball around
Soccer,
on the
innit?
field. It's still soccer. But I'm having fun with that too. So though the game fucking had a bit of a dig at me. So normally I play on world class. Is that it? I think it's world class, like world class difficulty. And I normally go right against the AI. Online, I get absolutely my pants pulled down, man, and spanked. But on this one, you play the first couple of games and it basically picks up on your skill level. Fucking was hovering me between semi-pro and professional, which are the two levels below world class. And like professional, yeah. Anyway,
I'm so
I
sorry.
feel I don't.
How do you feel about that?
I don't love it.
Let's unpack it.
Because mate, I'm doing it to
Do you
them.
feel
I'm pulling their pants
misrepresented?
down a little bit because it's got this option to choose like I can't remember if it's called like authentic mode or something like that. It's like more realistic, slower pace, bit more realistic. And there was a large chunk of one of the games where I couldn't get the fucking ball, mate. They just kept passing it around like in real fucking soccer. And obviously the minutes are going pretty quick. So the game's thinking this idiot can't get the ball. Let's make it semi-pro. Fucking hell. Anyway,
Good
That's
Can't
excuse.
help if you've got selfish players on your team, mate. That's unfortunate. It's also wild that you're playing a mode where you just play as one person. I thought that was very I can't say FIFA. Un-EAFC of the whole...
what do you mean?
Jesus, that name.
Rolls off the tongue.
I thought you just play as the whole team. Like when you pass,
Yeah,
you
I
pass
do.
to yourself.
What?
Did you say you were
No,
waiting for the ball?
No. I'm saying the
I don't think
opposition. I couldn't get the ball back
Oh,
because they
gotcha.
just kept
chase
passing
them
it
around the
around.
field.
Right, couldn't even get
Yeah.
possession. Jesus.
No.
Sounds like you need to be knocked down a difficity level then. Sounds like the game's
Well, I
right.
couldn't get the fucking ball, mate. And then I would get the ball, and I would just.
Well,
cut
it's like
through them.
90% of the game, isn't it? Getting the fucking ball.
And then I'd fucking kick a goal, mate. Put it in the back of the onion bag, and then they goes, "Oh, cool, yep, we'll go up from semi-pro to professional." And then bang, they kick off, and I'm chasing around like a bloody headless chook again. Oh, no, back down to semi-pro. Fuck that game. Anyway, shall we move on?
Please.
I don't really want to. That was great.
Lord
Adam,
above.
You
Yes.
got anything that you've been playing? Nathan, you want to come into focus a little bit there? You're
Nah, I'm good.
Go
I'm good over here, baby.
lingering
What's going on?
lingering in the background.
I don't
Nah.
understand.
I've only been playing the big ticket item for this week in our review discussion, so I'll save it for then.
cool. Nathan, now I'm not going to name any names, but I know that you've been playing a preview. Nah, all right. We will save that one for another time. Nice.
Redacted. Not the roguelike. Now that you know what that is. Look at that. Yeah.
Callisto Protocol. Let's go.
Not bad, not bad. The game so much better than the game that it was spun off from. It's unbelievable.
Now, I feel like we need to tell Nathan about the story about our time with PlayStation. Also, actually, if you haven't seen, Nathan, have you been on socials, on WellPlayed socials? Have you seen anything that the WellPlayed social account has maybe shared in the past few days?
So I've seen what appears to be a Battlefield 6 reviewed on numbers on the Book of Face. That's
You
about
love to
it.
see it. There's
What would
something
you
way more
say?
important than that, and that's my
What?
review. So
That's not where
go
I was
ahead,
going with it.
Zach.
But what would you say if I told you that we interviewed Randy Pitchford on Saturday morning,
Okay, yeah.
and Ash dressed up as a gorilla to do the honors?
I would say that I had been given spoilers for this momentous occasion and was
Ah,
very
Oh,
excited to see that the premise had been delivered upon. Haven't seen the final result and very keen to do so.
it's a it's a great interview.
I would expect nothing less.
just from
Mm.
face value of Ash dressing up as not just a gorilla, but Donkey Kong himself.
Whoa,
The
no, no, no,
gorilla.
hang on. Legally distinct gorilla. We just gotta be
We don't want
careful
any
there.
Nintendo cease and yeah, okay, right, gotcha.
Sure. Like that surprises no one. That's the most Ash whaling thing I've ever heard.
Um,
So while it's a glorious image, it's not at all surprising.
no. But speaking of interviews, we Adam, you got to chat with
Rob
somebody.
Davis, so the campaign director for Ghost of Yotei over at Sucker Punch Productions, which was an amazing opportunity and a good chat, which will be going up on the site and the Well Played YouTube channel within the next few days. But the main takeaway from that was beforehand the wonderful Iris, the PR contact that we deal with. She's wonderful, but she's very new to the whole gaming scene, so she's not maybe up with maybe PlayStation's back catalog. And we were talking about tattoos because I had a fresh tattoo at the time, and the question came up: do I have any gaming tattoos? And I said no, but I think Zach does. So he points to a little emblem that he has on his arm for a certain PlayStation franchise. Thank you for our visual listeners. Do you want to give that a give it a little spotlight, Zachary? Give us a look. Yeah, wonderful. Yep, you love to see it. So he spent the next 10 minutes telling
No, he didn't.
Iris,
No, he
someone
didn't spend
who
that long.
someone who
It
represents
wasn't 10
PlayStation,
minutes.
about
It
the
was about
Order
5.
1886.
It was about 5.
You
And
love
then
to
we
see it.
and then
About
we
3
actually got
minutes too long.
and then we got into the room with big old Robbie, and the PlayStation contact is there. And I was like, "Hey, you've heard of a game called The Order?" And she was like,
No.
1886, as in, fuck, the Pope shit in the woods, mate. Of course I've heard of that game. Who hasn't? So,
Really, the response though, Nathan, of Zach saying, "Have you heard of the Order?" and her response had to be, "What, you mean 1886?" I was like, "Please don't give him more ammo. He doesn't
and
need this."
she liked
Yeah.
it, quote unquote. Anyway, yeah, looking forward to seeing that interview go up.
Hmm.
But I'm nothing but entertaining, but not
It's
entertaining. No,
always so much fun
whatever
when
it
we
is.
let you out of the house and have you interact with our industry peers. So much fun.
Such a great, well played representative, truly. But we did
All
that
right,
during the big PAX weekend. Do we want to jump into that first off as the main
sure.
course, mate?
Let's jump into it. We'll spend a few minutes just chatting about what we checked out. I may as well kick it off. No pun intended, because
Hey,
one of the best games we played was Pro Jank Footy. Now,
Oh.
footy games are, it was kind of barren for a while there, and then we got AFL. Fuck, what are we? 25? AFL 23. I think it was AFL 23. Yeah, I think
mm,
that's the stinky one from Big Ant. But in that time, we've got a new one from Big Ant if you're after the kind of simulation one, which is AFL 26. But we've also got a couple of little arcadey style ones. And Footy Bash we've talked about before, which is a bit more violent, a bit more,
yeah.
with like a bit of blood on the screen. But this one, Project Footy, is a bit of a throwback to I think it's the NES one. I don't remember the name of it, but it's got that style of like the NES footy
I
one,
did
and
play the NES footy. I see the likeness immediately. Yep.
it's quite a funny game, and it's got some commentary by Adam.
Broden Kelly of Auntie Donna fame does all of the commentary, which is fantastic. He brings
Excellent.
his dry humor to it, and the man is an absolute footy fiend as well, so it
Mm.
makes sense.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
this was just a really really fun game. It's in a good place. It plays well. I guess the hook on this game is I think they said there's over 200, or there's about about 200 like power cards or like powers or things or like quirks. So basically, you're playing the game. Someone kicks a goal, and then if I kick a goal, Adam gets to choose a card. There's like three. I think it's like three cards come up, and then you
Yep.
get to pick. Yeah, you get to pick one of the perks. So for example, one of the ones
Would
that
you
Adam
like some examples? I've got some show and tell for some examples if you'd like.
do you actually
He's
really?
got
So
shot too.
if you were to kick a goal for
Oh,
this
he's
is
got
obviously
cards.
for
Yes.
Oh,
only
did you get the? I haven't actually opened
only
mine
the
yet.
visual, but you might turn everyone into a seagull, perhaps. So literally every player on the field
All
gets
36 players on the field.
there you go, some AFL knowledge. Or just to get things a bit more violent, no umpires. All the umpires are gone, so you can go ahead and cheat. But Zach, go ahead, give some examples of what we got.
So yeah, so we played a little game, and Adam got one. Also, I obviously kicked a fucking. I obviously kicked snag,
Nice.
and Adam chose one called Tiny Team, and that
hmm
turned all of my players into like fucking ants, like they were tiny. Actually
Like the
became
bowl
really
was probably twice the size of his players.
actually it became really hard to fucking see and control them because they kind of zip around a bit. But and then we got another one where it's called Wind Blast, and
Yep.
you had to basically you kick the ball, but it would go backwards because of the wind. So essentially, you had to like run the way you were going, turn around, and try and turn around, and then kick it so it would go your way. It was fucking,
Absolutely ruined our game. Like in
it did.
a really entertaining arcade bullshit way. It completely upended our game. But we also saw other powers that were like every 30 seconds or a minute, the entire screen would just flip and you have to play backwards for 10 or
Or
15
upside
seconds
down,
before
I
it.
think it was as well.
Yeah,
Mm.
completely upside down. So there were like, another one was Dad's car. Like a one player gets turned into just like this old beaten up sedan. So you just see a car like taking marks and kicking
And
goals,
like
like just
running over
ridiculous
people.
shit. Yeah. Insane.
And there'll be, I think they were saying like earthquakes will just appear. They would just
Yep.
occur, and the players who falls into the earthquake, like they're gone,
Just
like
gone. They don't come back. There were portals that like put you to different sides of the ground, and they all stack. So by the end of this, I mean, what did it took us like maybe 5 minutes to play a game? Like, if you get
yeah,
the
thereabouts. Yeah,
right power ups, it can just be complete fucking chaos. It
yeah.
was a real
It
good
was
time. I enjoyed
it was
myself.
really fun. The only my only criticism, and we spoke to the developers about this, so it's not like it's this game is still being worked on. So
Mm.
just finding the right balance for some of those cards, right? Like I did find, yes, the Wind Blast one was quite funny, but after kind of playing it for 2 quarters, it just became a little bit annoying in the end. So picking which cards, I guess, have like a timer or something like that.
Yeah.
That would be my only little thing. But other than that, it was fucking awesome, and it's coming to all consoles. Sorry, most consoles. I think PlayStation. Did they say all consoles?
Yep. All
Yeah,
consoles.
all consoles and PC. Hopefully early next year. They did mention Gather Round is what they're aiming for. So, which I think is about round 4 of the AFL season, but
Sure.
round 3 or 4.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. So that was one. Adam.
Yeah, my first that I'll shout out was called Shatter Rush, which has actually got a little alpha that you can go play now over on Steam. It's essentially the pitch that I would give would be Titanfall meets the finals. So it's got the really fast pace. So it's a first person shooter. It's got very fast paced movement. You can wall run. You can double jump. It's got a very satisfying grapple hook to get around the environment. A whole suite of different weapons and gadgets. It also has completely destructible environment, hence the finals kind of comes into it. And you can call down a mech after as you're doing well in a round, and it'll just bust through entire buildings. You can get in it, pilot it. It has a great amount of heft and weight to it. It feels very Titanfall-y. But it very much feels like, well, if Respawn aren't going to make Titanfall 3, fuck it, we'll do it live, is kind of the vibe that I got from it. But it's got enough little different other inspirations injected into it that made it feel kind of stand on its own as well. And I had a chance to chat with one of the devs, and they said that they push out community-driven updates every 2 weeks. So they're very kind of in tune with their growing community as well, to try and bring features that the community are asking for. So yeah, that one has a lot of promise. That's just got a vague 2026 release window. But yeah, there is, like I said, an open alpha currently going. So jump into that one if you think that might, scratch an itch for you. Very cool. Like that a
Can I
lot.
get the name of that again?
Shatter Rush.
Shatter Rush.
All one word. Key and I played this because she came with me for this trip, and she was ecstatic that she didn't come last in the 6-player mode that we played. It's also got 4-player split screen co-op, which is great because I don't think there are many shooters that really offer that anymore. So as far as like a party game is concerned, I think it would be tremendous.
Key's first time at PAX too. Just
Yeah, definitely not the second time she's been, once when Nathan was there. So
I was about to say.
yeah, definitely first time. Great memory, Zach. What's another one that you enjoyed?
I got a couple of little ones that I won't go into too much detail about, but Lone Pine was one I really, really wanted to check out. They didn't have a hugely playable slice. They just had a little area. This is a up and coming point and click game from a Queensland studio called Bang 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 Interactive. At least I think they're Queensland. Might need to fact check that. But yeah, this is a real neat little point and click game. I'll give you the little Steam synopsis here. Lone Pine is a single player 2D adventure set in the fictional Lone Pine National Park. You play as I think that's Izzy, who has come to Lone Pine to try to photograph some of its mysterious undiscovered cryptids. So pretty cool. Like very, very basic slice, what we kind of saw, but really, really dig what they're kind of going for. Nice artwork, very, very, very cool background. And I think it's got like a little bit of Australian. Like, it was very, very hard to hear. Like, I could not. They did say that the sound is not working overly well on their Steam Deck that they had, so it was very hard to hear. But I think there was a little bit of Australian
voice acting
going on there. The other one was a New Zealand made game called How Was Your Day? Again, another little point and click game. This is by a team called Mad Carnival. And this one, the premise is, after her beloved dog Beans vanishes and 13-year-old Dia finds herself trapped in a nightmarish time loop, each day reveals darker secrets in the sleepy town of Lakeview. Nothing and no one is what it seems. Groundhog Day meets Stranger Things in this supernatural thriller set in 80s New Zealand. Really, really cool. The lady who I think the main developer for this is originally from Fiji. So there's and then she moved to New Zealand at some stage in her life. So I think there's a little bit of her personal story in here, because the character I've actually played through this demo at home. Yeah, they kind of have this Fijian background, and it's actually really cool. They with you guys have all been to school, I hope so. But at the end of the day, like, your parents will be like, how's your day kind of thing, and you're like, kind of, it's fine, it's good. She kind of talked about how that kind of inspired part of this, just trying to, reliving those days and just trying to get more from it, kind of thing. I think I've explained that really, really poorly. But yeah, it's kind of neat. It's kind of cool so far. The demo, she said that the demo ends on a bit of a cliffhanger, and I would agree. Not like super one, but I was looking forward to being like, okay, cool, like, what's the next bit? And then bang, the demo was kind of ended. It's a little bit of a feels a little bit like a part visual novel, part point and click game, or adventure game. But yeah, quite neat. The lady did say, I've forgotten her name, sorry, but she did mention that they are going to get New Zealand voice actors. So they're just casting for that at the moment. So it is going to be voice acted. The other cool thing with this is there are parts of this game where you actually play like old school retro games. They've kind of made like those part of it. So there's one part in the demo where you need to cross a road because you're looking for your dog, and the game that they've made for this is called Dogger, but it's Frogger, but you just basically you're crossing,
Cute.
and there's there's like a Pac-Man style one where which is all quite neat. So that's a couple. Adam?
Wonderful. I've got a couple more. I kind of went in ascending order from games that I've got 3 in total. So Shadow Rush, the next one is the Indigo Initiative. So this is a first-person puzzle game. It's kind of maybe Portal meets the Talos Principle. I don't know. It's kind of maybe a reductive combination of things, but it's got the kind of what were the Portal, like the Portal rooms called? Shit. I'm blanking now. Doesn't matter. So the small contained puzzle rooms, right? But in bigger environments that are maybe a little bit more interesting than just kind of the white rooms that the Portal setting provided. So the conceit of it is that the world, I think it's like 98.4% of the population just disappeared for no real reason, but they think it might be linked to shady happenings in this place that the Indigo Initiative is taking place. So they're conducting some experiment to do with alternate dimensions. Shit hits the fan, and then the population kind of disappears. So that's the setup for the story. And you've got this device, as any good puzzle game does, that can copy elements such as fire, electricity, water, and you use those elements to complete puzzles. So it's like if there's a fire, then you slurp up some water, spray the water on there, continue on your way. Obviously, that's a really kind of basic example, but that's kind of the core crux of the gameplay. But yeah, you actually travel to these different alternate realities. The one that I traveled to was this. It was kind of like an ancient tomb. It kind of gave like ancient Egypt vibes, but obviously it wasn't ancient Egypt. And you work your way through trying to kind of fix tears in reality to fix what's happening back home. So I've explained it really poorly, but the core gameplay, I think, has some really interesting ideas. So if implemented in creative ways, I think it could be really cool. And the setting was very eerie. You were alone. You had like a little robot companion, but the setup to the story was told through these fully voice acted and visually acted cutscenes of kind of, they're the only people left on the planet describing to you what's happened. And yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, but it had a really cool atmosphere to it.
It's I didn't play it. I watched you play. So just for those
Smashed it, by the way. Absolutely smashed the demo.
You did. They were quite impressed. But this is actually made by a guy who developed Infliction. So the Aussie made horror game. So he's now working on this, but parts of it kind of gave me, and I didn't play it, and I've never played Portals, so I've got no correlation there, but gave me a little bit of Riven and like Mist vibes. So there was a little bit of Riven
100%
to it. Like you had to kind of just figure it out. It probably seemed a little bit easier than Riven, because Riven's a bit of a fucking mindfuck, hard with how hard it can be, but just kind of that, especially that second world or fucking dimension that you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looked really cool.
No, I'm very keen
to. There's no one around, is there? Like it's just you, right?
Yeah, it's literally just you and this little robot. The robot has quite a decent amount of personality to it for a little companion. But there's no other human characters other than yourself.
Yeah, you weren't. You had the cans on, so I was having a really good chat to him, but he was saying that he doesn't. One thing that pisses him off about modern games is that you'll have a companion, and you think you'll know what he's talking about there, and the companion will be like, "Oh, why don't you try doing this?" And he was like, "Well, I was getting there, fuckhead." Like, like if you just give me a second. So he's saying he really wants um, the AI companion to be very. If you want the hint, you can get it, but it's going to be very vague.
And it
Like it's not
was.
going to be. Yeah.
I got it to give me one hint because I was curious about that, and it was just something very vague about like the lanterns in the area seem like they have a significance to the culture. And it ended up being like I needed to light the braziers in a different order or something like that. But it was like a vague hint. It wasn't just like, why don't you try using fire on the thing that needs fire? Like, yeah. And I do appreciate that you have to actively seek the hint rather than it's just like you're on a timer and then it goes, hey, dickhead, why don't you try this? So, no,
Yeah.
very, very cool one. Very keen to see more. And the last one I'll talk about, and it was at PAX last year, but I didn't play it, and I'm kicking myself now, is Key Fairy. Key Fairy is a bullet hell that has zero combat. So the idea is uh, instead of attacking things, you're trying to pacify these monsters that have been corrupted by collecting these little stars that come out of their body. It's got a very, very, very striking, like monochromatic art style. It looks fantastic. It doesn't really look like anything else that I've seen. They do incorporate color here and there, particularly when the monsters are aggressive. There's little elements of red. But you're this key fairy who you can move around, but just very slowly. But then by using the right trigger, you shoot off like a grappling hook that shoots you in that direction. So you have to kind of maneuver your way around, avoiding the enemy attacks and collecting these stars. But the stars tend to move away from the monster and dissipate very quickly, so it forces you to get up close and personal with them, so it's kind of a risk reward. It's really like looking at it, you can see it's beautiful, very interesting to look at, but the gameplay might not hook you straight away just watching gameplay. Feeling it is something completely different. So when I was there playing it, it all clicked and it's very smooth and snappy. So much so that I downloaded the demo back home once I got on my Steam Deck and I was playing it in bed last night. Like leaving the demo because I absolutely sucked ass and didn't want to, take other people's time away from it. So I just kind of surrendered the Steam Deck and we continued on our way. But I was determined to beat the boss that it got up to, and I did that in bed last night because I couldn't stop thinking about it. So yeah, very, very, very cool. Keen to play more of Key Fairy.
One thing, one cool thing with this is one of the developers we were chatting to, and he mentioned how he or they gave a like an audio brief to the sound designer,
Yeah.
and it was like the brief was pushing a piano down a flight of stairs. That's kind of what the kind of sound. So they will kind of want it to be like its own. What do you say? Like, how did you describe it? Like they want that to be like an impact as well. Like they're not just yeah.
And it is really erratic, but in kind of a beautiful way. Particularly when you first encounter like an aggressive monster, the shit just kind of goes really chaotic. And then once you pacify them, it takes more of a traditional approach to the music. So it calms it down and takes it more into a natural flow. So it is yeah, very, very cool.
I was thinking about this when we were there, and I was like, I won't say this because I might sound like a bit of a dickhead, but if you describe this art style, Adam, now stay with me on this journey. Imagine if someone made an Atari game way back when, and then finally had the engine or the tools to make it into a modern kind of game. That's how I kind of feel like
100%,
like.
man.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks like I think it's an old PlayStation game that does a similar thing. It's just black and white with the outlines, and there's like a rabbit that you move across the screen. I'll do some research and think if I can. I'll see if I can find it by the end of the podcast. But it really, really reminds me of one particular game that I'm struggling to remember. But no, it's like you're 100% right. Very old school kind of. You're limited to the hardware that you have, but then they're obviously not limited to that, so they've been able to inject some creativity into it. It's very, very, very cool.
One last one for me, and I won't talk about it, but I think we talked about it before, is I've had access to a demo for Shifters or Shifters or however you want to pronounce it. I'm pretty sure it's Shifters. This is the New Zealand game. very much inspired by Hollow Knight. I quite enjoy it. I'm having a bit of a tough time beating the demo. It's a bit challenging, but yeah, like really really fun. And I think if you're looking for more of Hollow Knight without obviously being Hollow Knight, you should it's still in development and looking for funding, but this is one to kind of keep an eye on. Excuse me. Yeah, and I think they're about the main beats. I think that we did. I did I did download this. It's really cool. Apparently, it was at PAX. I don't know how I missed it. Right, I was going through the list. It's called the Fractured Shimmer. Right, and I'm going to read you this this little thingy here. The Fractured Shimmer is a 2.5D pixel art survival horror adventure. So it's a point-and-click adventure where you play as Eddie, a journalist investigating a string of unsettling murder cases. I played the demo for this for a little bit last night, and it's actually quite neat. A little bit hard. I didn't not quite know what the fuck was going on, and also I was absolutely rat shit tired. So I kind of was like, I need to play this when I'm actually not cooked. But apparently this was there. So, but I didn't see it. So. But it looks kind of neat, so I'm keen to kind of give it a bit more of a play.
Yeah, we'll have to look and do some reaching out. I have one very very quick one that I wanted to shout out as well. By a New Zealand developer called Flightless, is called Killing Things with Your Friends. Does exactly what it says on the tin. It's like a first person. It's almost like Killing Floor, if Killing Floor was even jankier, had puzzles, and was mainly melee focused. And you could tear off your limbs and replace them with the limbs of your enemies. Yet also, those limbs were used to unlock doors and feed meat grinders. Completely bullshit, batshit crazy. It has the jank that you kind of want from a party/streamer game, I suppose. I had a absolute ball. I played with Key. She got me killed within minutes. We had a grand old time, walked away with a smile. So keen to see more from that one as well.
Did you?
And Vib Ribbon is the game that I was thinking of with the rabbit. It's a PS1 game.
Did you go and play the trivia roguelike that we were hearing about?
I couldn't find it, so I've looked it up and I've got it bookmarked. So I'm gonna have to do some looking into it, because yeah, a trivia roguelike game sounds. Trivia Deal is the name of it, called by a developer called Fluent Pixel. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do some more looking into that. So watch this space. We'll talk about it in a future podcast, no doubt.
All right, I got one more pitch for Nathan. This is not something that we played, but something that I saw that caught my eye. The kind of the very one part of the day, and I was like, oh, I got to go back and check that. I just quickly added it to my wish list, forgot about it, and then thought about it on the last day that we were there on the Saturday. It's called Maralinga. Now, this is inspired by a true story. Maralinga is an Australian Gothic FPS survival horror set in a forgotten nuclear test site. Scavenge, survive, and uncover buried truths, then see your journey retold in a unique news article shaped by your every choice. Will you survive the present to uncover the past? Looks kind of cool. KV was just like, it's the forest but in the outback, and I mean, he's not wrong.
I think from. Sorry, Nathan. I was going to say, from our brief little dalliance with Macabre, which is another Australian game, but it's like an extraction horror experience. I think that proved that the Outback is actually a really fucking terrifying, cool backdrop for a horror game. And if, I think all of us have probably been in like Outback areas in dusk/night, and it is pretty fucking terrifying. So yeah.
Mate, after seeing Wolf Creek, if you've watched Wolf Creek,
and that'll do it to you.
And you go out back in the night, you got fucking nuts to steal. I can tell you that, mate. So. All right, Adam, give me 20 seconds. What are your overall PAX thoughts this year on the actual show?
The actual show is, so vibes-wise, very good. I think the Australian indie offering was a bit stronger than the last couple of years that we've been. I think the New Zealand folks, again, absolutely knock it out of the park. The guys at Code do a really wonderful job at curating a great slice of that country's indie scene. And yeah, overall, I didn't get to the board game section as much as I would have liked, but overall, I think there was a lot to like from PAX this year. No PlayStation, massive fucking bummer, but yeah, overall, real positive. What about yourself?
Yeah, similar to you. I think this year's showing on the indie side was a bit stronger. I just think it lacks that little how you doing that just that little extra jazz that kind of makes it a bit more of a crowd puller. I know like a lot of people still go and it's quite popular, but we think back to 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, and you'd get all these early looks at big games like you'd have Ubi bring in whatever it might be, you'd have Xbox bring in whatever it might be, you'd have Play On bring in a handful of a little booth. Yes.
I will say, I think there was quite a bit of that this year. That's just that it didn't appeal to us. The Nintendo booth was massive and
I'm
was
getting
going
out.
off its fucking chops.
If you let me fucking finish, dog. I haven't said Nintendo yet. Anyway, so I think a lot of the heavy lifting was done by Nintendo,
Oh yeah, now he
I,
mentions Nintendo.
well, that was my fucking ending bit.
Let me finish.
I'm not a big Nintendo fan, as you know, but really, really good to see them kind of support a show like this, because that booth was going off, and they made a big effort with that booth. That booth looked good. Like I don't.
It was
I get
incredible,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. So good on them. I just wish that a few others maybe had made a little bit more of an effort. Some you would forgive because they don't really have anything, but
Yeah.
I think Xbox showed off some massage chairs and like the ROG, but when you've got Outer Worlds 2 coming out, Keeper, you've got
Yeah.
Ninja Gaiden 4, like there's plenty of opportunities for them to have a few stations and kind of get some hands on controllers. But I would also love to see, and I'm just going to make this a plain flat statement, but maybe some of the bigger Aussie devs, it would be great to see them kind of show up a little bit more.
Yep. I think that's a diplomatic way of summarizing the more barbed conversations we've had that are not recorded. But yeah, I think the PlayStation should definitely show up. Xbox could do a bit better, but I think Nintendo, yeah, did a wonderful job. I'd be remiss to not shout out my wonderful partner Key as well, who did a little Mario Kart World competition that was broadcast on the big screen, and she came second as Waluigi. So shout out to Key, nicely done.
Alrighty,
Love
I
to
want
see
to
it.
quickly talk about something else that's Aussie related, but I'm going to just give you a couple minutes, if that at most. Prior to PAX this week, I actually went and played. Well, I was in the presence of someone who went and played Mixtape. So we played. We went and visited Beethoven and Dinosaur's little studio here in Melbourne, and we went and played Mixtape for about 30 minutes. It was the same demo that people played at Summer Games Fest. So if you've seen previews and kind of out about, same content, but really, really, really cool game. Yeah, like that studio has got a lot of creative juice that they're squeezing out, and I think the producer said that they're just about vibes, and sometimes that's all you need. Yeah, like cool story, cool vibes, just a really cool game, and I think it's going to be quite a short experience. So I'm really, really excited. My if I was in an elevator with you and you were trying to get out, and I was like, no, give me like 10 more seconds, I would say this game plays like Life is Strange meets Superbad, and I know that people are going to be like, what the fuck?
Hello.
But Christy, who did go and play this, she kind of was like, I'm not really buying it, but I see it. KV was like, yeah, probably wrong film, but I get the sentiment. So
KV
I'll
went
leave it
with
up.
Ferris Bueller, but it's a similar kind of vibe that you're getting at. I get it. I get it.
Okay, all right, I get you.
But once you get your hands on it, I'll let you be the judge of whether that connection stacks up. But yeah, very cool. Hopefully we'll have a preview out for that very, very shortly. But no more previews. Let's drop the P and let's get straight to the review, because Adam,
Ooh. Yeah, mate.
you've been a busy soldier.
I certainly have. Every spare minute has been in service to Battlefield 6. You've heard me talk extensively about Battlefield 6 in the last couple months. I've had multiple preview sessions and interviews and all of that jazz, because EA has really thrown the doors wide open on this one. They've taken a very big swing, essentially saying that Battlefield is back. That's the statement that has been kicked around. It's the narrative that they've been pushing, and obviously one that they believe in quite deeply. Nathan, I don't know how you feel because we've played a bit of it together. I'm sure you've played a bit of it without my ass dragging you down. I could pretty emphatically say, definitely on the multiplayer side of things, that Battlefield is back is a pretty accurate statement. This game's multiplayer suite is phenomenal. As far as multiplayer games go, I don't think I've had as much fun with a multiplayer game in quite some time. Just the surface level thoughts, Nathan, with the time that you've had with the multiplayer, how have you been vibing with it since launch?
Well, yeah, like Battlefield 3 specifically is back, baby. Like that's for sure. I've only maybe spent like a small amount of time with the multiplayer, so like 4 hours. Biggest point right off the bat is how remarkably stable and well polished and just fine the experience is. Just no hiccups whatsoever.
Which is a lot to say for a Battlefield game on
I
launch
can't
as
remember
well.
the last time we had a good Battlefield launch. I was there for Battlefield 3 for just all of them. They've been mixed to some extent. This is gold. Yeah, it's very boots on the ground for the most part. The vehicles all handle like you'd expect. I'm a big fan of the very extensive options suite that we've got here. I was telling Adam I went from crashing every helicopter to kind of keeping them afloat a little bit with some of the like auto assist options that are in there. Just a quick little toggle, and they are brilliant. Sounds great, looks great. It's Battlefield 3. If I was being a picky boy, I would want Battlefield 4 back. I'd want some naval combat, and I'd want the destruction maybe turned up just a fraction more. But to have Battlefield 3 back in 2025 is a real like relieving breath of fresh air. Strangely enough, I'm loving it. Yeah.
Yeah, bring us Operation Metro. If you're going to bring back Battlefield 3, let's have Operation Metro.
It's seems
It's
inevitable. Let's
surely
go.
with Portal, it's got to be. But
be.
yeah, so essentially the whole Battlefield is back and reclaimed the feeling of Battlefield 3 and 4 largely has to do with team composition, which is very based on the class system. The class system's back. You've got engineer, you've got support, you've got recon, and you've got assault, and they all play as you would expect. The weapons are open for the most part. There are plenty of servers that you can have closed weapons, but effectively that means that any class can use any kind of weapon. I haven't, to be honest, felt like that has hindered the experience at all. It's still, if you're going to be an engineer, you're going to be up in the thick of it, so an SMG or a shotgun makes the most sense. If you're going to be a recon that does spotting for your team, you're likely going to want a DMR or a sniper rifle. So the archetypes are there, and they kind of feed best into those weapons. And they do have passive buffs as well. So if you're an engineer that uses an SMG, you'll have better hip fire accuracy, or each of them have their own. If you're assault, you switch weapons quicker because you can have you can have an assault rifle and a shotgun, so that benefits you. And each of the classes have different specializations. So you start the game with a buff, and as you progress, you'll get additional buffs and eventually like a one-time use activation. So the engineer has like 50% extra vehicle healing, or the recon gets a little drone that they can throw out. So there's progression within each multiplayer match for those classes, so it incentivizes you to stick with the class and to play that through the entire match. So you're not having people switch in and out, throwing out your team composition entirely. It's very, very squad based, which is when Battlefield is at its best, when everyone's playing the fucking objective and playing their role. And I've noticed that even just playing with randoms, you kind of all slot into your little archetypes, and if everyone's playing their role, it just sings. That multiplayer just absolutely sings when everything is working well. And obviously, there's all of the modes that you love are are here. Conquest, Rush, Domination. They're all here. You know what they are. Conquest. Go to a breakthrough. Thank you. That's the one I was after. Go to a breakthrough is wonderful. Go to a point in Conquest, capture it, bleed the other team's tickets until you win. Fantastic. I would say the standout mode for Battlefield 6 is its newest one, which is Escalation. So it's effectively Conquest. You start the match, there are, say, 7 capture points. Instead of bleeding tickets, the majority will fill a meter. And once you get to the top of that meter, that team gets a point, and its first 2-3 points wins. The little wrinkle is once a team gains a point, one of the capture points just disappears. You know that's completely off the table, and it will continuously push in the fight until there is maybe 3 or 4 capture points left, and it brings everyone on these massive maps into smaller and smaller points of interest and battlefields, and it ramps up the tension, and it also tends to stabilize the game somewhat. So Conquest can be like a team will win with 700 tickets to 0, and it's kind of a complete blowout. You can still have that for Escalation, but I've found that it's a bit more balanced. So I've had more matches end in each team has 2 points, and it's coming down to whoever gets the third. And it's great at ratcheting the tension and balance to kind of give you a more of a nail-biting finish. I think the mode is genuinely fantastic. I'm yet to have a really truly shit round of it. I'm sure I will. But genuinely, I think it is. A lot of the devs that I've spoken to have said that internally they reach for that before Conquest, which is massive. Conquest is like the Battlefield experience. So it's massive that's what internally they've been experiencing, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happens with the general public as well. Obviously, there are some advancements as far as gameplay is concerned. Internally, they call it the kinesthetic combat system. That's kind of just a buzzword for all of the little things that they've done to make it feel better to play. Like you can run while crouching, which is way more versatile than it might sound. The big one is that you can drag your teammates while you're reviving them. Not only does that have practical applications, but you just feel a bit fucking cool while you're doing it. You can mount your guns to kind of any surface, whether that's like a low-lying wall, like cover, or to a door frame or something like that. You can do a combat roll when you hit the ground. It's all of this shit that the kinesthetic part of it is you just kind of learn by doing. It's like, geez, it would be good if I could do this thing, and it is there. Like, it's just things that make sense in the moment. So it's cool. I never felt like I needed a tutorial to kind of get me to where I needed to go. It just kind of all fell into place, which I think is I think that's a pretty big deal. As far as tutorials go, though, Nathan, I don't know how much you've had with this, but that's probably what I would call the campaign, is one big tutorial.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's you follow along Dagger 1-3, which is Ura Marine squad effectively, as they globetrot around kind of this. It's a very Battlefield campaign. If you played the Battlefield 3 campaign, it's very much a Battlefield campaign aligned with that. So you go a whole bunch of different places across the world. You rocket Gibraltar. There's Egypt. You're fighting in Brooklyn. So it's just kind of all of these. Georgia. Yep. Both Georgias, I think. I think
really?
There's like Georgia, and also Georgia in the United States, which I found weirdly entertaining.
I'm up to Brooklyn, right?
Oh, mate, you'll head to Georgia soon. Don't you worry. It's largely fine. The Dagger 1-3 as a group of characters are there. There are some really cool set pieces. The Rocket Gibraltar mission, I think, is genuinely quite great. You halo drop onto the rock, and then you go through some underground tunnels that are completely pitch black, and you need to use your torch to navigate. And then you come out into kind of a more open battlefield at the other side of it. And there are some bigger levels that you can kind of approach however you wish. And you do it as a recon as well, which kind of opens up possibilities a little bit more. But effectively, it's used as a tutorial. Each of the different Dagger 1-3 members is a different class. So you've got an engineer, support, recon, assault, and it kind of introduces you into those roles as well as some of the different scenarios that you might find yourself in the game, in the multiplayer suite as well. So one mission, you're escorting a tank, it gets hit, you have to repair it. There's one that you take control of a tank, another one you take control of a gunner. So it's just kind of plopping you in these scenarios that you'll likely find yourself in. The AI is fucking dog shit. They stand out and just wait to be shot. The story is largely there up until the very last mission, where it weirdly does kind of tie a bow on it, and it has some weirdly cool little implications for maybe the wider geopolitical landscape that we're currently living in, which I didn't expect, which is cool. But yeah, the campaign is very much there. I'm not one way or another. I think it's fine. I played it once and it uninstalled it, which it gives you the option immediately once you finish it. It's like, cool, you finished it. Do you want to uninstall to make some space on your hard drive? I said yes. Portal is also back in a very, very big way. It's a much expanded suite of customization options to make your own experiences. I haven't had time to go hands-on with that because it wasn't available in the review sessions, so I will have to update you on how that is. But I have had time to play in public servers, and they aren't completely dog shit, like Nathan said, which is fantastic. So I am exceptionally high on Battlefield 6. I think it is a wonderful, wonderful multiplayer experience with a fine single player that does well for onboarding. But Nathan, if you have any other thoughts on the single player or just kind of the package as a whole?
I agree with everything. Maybe just to expand on a couple of negatives for the campaign, because it is like capital F fine at best.
Mhm.
Falls into a lot of pitfalls of the hoorah shooter of 10 years ago. If you ever, it's got this strange paradox where it invites you to collect collectibles, dog tags in the level, wants you to explore for them. If you ever stray from the very narrow set path that's leading you forward, you've got 5 seconds to return to the mission, or you will fail.
Yeah.
So that's always discouraging you from doing any kind of searching because it is so fragile. Like you'll be walking on a street, you'll put a foot on the sidewalk and you'll get that message. And it's like, but I'm still on the street.
Yeah.
Um, so it's a bit plain Jane. It's very on rails for the most part. Like there's less than a handful of times that actually gives you anything resembling a Battlefield experience. So I think I likened it with you, Adam, to more like the Medal of Honor
Yeah,
games, how they
definitely.
do a campaign, how they do the we've got Call of Duty at home kind of campaign. So it's feels very Medal of Honor, but you're not buying this package for that. So it's a nice little addendum. It's going to bring you up to speed. How many hours does it take? I'm like 3 hours in, maybe
I'd
3.5.
say 6, maybe 7 at a push. I think there are 8 or 9 missions. They vary in
There's
length.
9.
Yeah, 9 missions. So you could probably, I mean, I busted through it in a weekend, and I
Yeah.
was kind of happy with the length of that. I don't think it overstays its welcome, but I mean, that's maybe not a positive in this sense. So yeah, it's there. I advise you to play it if you haven't played a Battlefield game before,
Sure.
just to kind of dampen the blow of that somewhat steep learning curve that
Learn the
the multi
controller.
yeah, that the multiplayer experience can be. But otherwise, if you're aware of Battlefield, if you've played one in the past, you can skip it. You can largely skip it. But I ended up landing on a big fat 9 for this. I was very high going in, still somehow exceeded my expectations with the full package once it was laid out in front of me. Genuinely can't wait to play more. I'm waiting for this episode to be over so I can go and play it right now.
Mm.
I like your priorities. Good man.
I
Thanks,
like
mate.
what I
Cheers.
played of the campaign. I'm having fun with it. It's just kind of,
Yeah, like
sometimes you want that, or I want that.
yeah, exactly. Like if you just want to switch your brain off, and if you haven't, I think if you haven't played a military shooter campaign in ages, like me, you will probably have a decent enough time. If you play them every year with COD, then you're not going to get heaps out of it.
Hmm.
I would agree with Adam's sentiment there. Yep.
Did you might have talked about this, and I might have just been eyeballing something else while you were talking about it. But did we talk about that very cool moment in one of the missions where you're in the dark?
Yes, yeah, we talked about
Yeah,
the
okay. Yeah,
underground.
cool.
There's another mission where you do the whole night vision thing. So if you like that
Oh,
green
Syria.
filter,
Yeah.
yeah, if you like that green filter over your gameplay, which does tickle my fancy, then you do get a bit of that as well.
Excellent. $110. Are we paying that for Battlefield 6? Are we happy?
I think with the roadmap that I was
With the
going to say
roadmap.
DICE, but Battlefield Studios has laid out, there's content being injected into this game in the next couple weeks, including new weapons and new maps. So it's not just like trickling in. Typically, that's not been the case for Battlefield games. It's been fix first, add content later, like way fucking later, where a lot of the player base has either dropped off or moved on or whatever it may be. So with the roadmap that they've got ahead, I genuinely think 110 is a very fair asking price, and I mean, that's a lot of money. So yeah, genuinely, I do.
I used to buy these games with correct me if I'm wrong, like a $40 season pass, expansion
Yeah.
pass thing at launch as well. So I was probably paying $110
Oh, easy.
a decade ago for these games, and now I'm not having to pay for that pass. I'm going to get that content.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
I think it probably just works out the same for a lot of those players.
Definitely.
So critically, it's on an 83 on Metacritic. I don't know. Can't see if that's a particular platform at the moment. But pretty good. That's a decent increase from the 68 that Battlefield 2042 was on, but it's below
with.
Battlefield 1, which was on 88, which is
I
actually surprising.
I
I
like
think
Battlefield 1's campaign heaps more personally.
I think it's a weird one to look at critically because it's been chopped up a whole bunch by different outlets. They would have, like IGN, for instance, their Battlefield 6 review is what it was titled, was only talking about the campaign, and they gave it a 5.
That's
So
been mixed into the aggregate.
yeah, I think the aggregate's going to look really weird. And
But
I
they always
think
do that though.
yeah, and it shits me. I don't think it makes any sense because it's part of an entire product. So just review the fucking product. But I think critically it won't settle down for another couple of weeks because I know that a lot of other outlets haven't reviewed it or given a score to it until they had time with Portal and with live servers. That's a decision that we collectively chose to
You
give
and
the
I.
score to yeah, exactly. I was happy giving it a 9 for the package that I had experienced, and I'll give my additional thoughts for Portal as I come into contact with it. But yeah, I think a 9 is 100% fair from the experience that I've had.
Excellent. Well, speaking of experiences, we got a couple more that have been had by some people this week. We got Twinklebee, reviewed by Jade Garrett, and she says, Twinklebee is a cozy, light-hearted, dollhouse-like decorating game that will capture you for hours as you house the many characters that come to your islands. Despite its quirks, it features relaxing gameplay in an adorable, customizable environment. 8 out of 10. That's a decent little. That's not quite as good as Outriders.
Not
Oh,
quite, no.
few things are, mate. Battlefield 6 is, but only by 0.5 apparently.
Only a bit.
But tell you what is not as good as Battlefield 6 or Outriders, or even Twinklebee for that matter, and that's Little Nightmares 3, reviewed by Kieran Verabruge. He says, an enjoyable enough threequel that delivers on the premise of a cooperative Little Nightmares. On the premise of a cooperative Little Nightmares without straying from the established formula for better or for worse. Gives it a 7 out of 10. So if you haven't read Kieran's review, it basically reads as in, yes, if you really like Little Nightmares, this is more of Little Nightmares, but with a new developer on board, because this is done by Supermassive Games. This was an opportunity to kind of do something a little bit different, and they haven't. But not bad is my take.
I don't know how I feel about that because I both would like to see something new, but also I very much enjoy Little Nightmares for exactly what it is. So I think morbid in a co-op space is probably what I was looking for. The bigger indictment for me, this game does not have local co-op. You can only do co-op online. So Key and I were really excited to play
What?
this on the same couch together. You cannot do that. It is only online co-op. Makes no
Question.
fucking sense. Yes, Nathan.
Question.
You might have an answer. My understanding was there was a couch co-op element to the first two. Is that correct?
No, it's only single player for the first two. So
Okay,
this was
okay,
going to be the
okay.
first time that it did have couch co-op. You know, to be 100% fair, it does have the whole friend pass deal that It Takes Two has, that, and Split Fiction and whatnot. So you only need one per co-op, you know, constituent. But
Experience. Yeah.
yeah, but the fact that you can't play it locally with your significant other or friend is fucking mind-blowing to me. Very, very
Okay.
strange. Especially,
Yeah.
it's a short experience from all things told, so it makes sense to have it. Strange.
Very strange. You know what's not strange?
Hmm.
The winners of the Australian Game Developer Awards. Adam,
That's a
what
segue.
news?
Yes, it's pretty light on news week this week, but we do have the winners of the 2025 Australian Game Developer Awards. So, as the name would suggest, it's a focus on the Aussie development scene. There is probably one main headline here, which is the big fat game of the year that they have slapped on The Drifter, which, Zachary Jackson, I'd say you probably think would be a deserving winner, would you not?
I do. I find these awards interesting, is a choice of word, because sometimes a lot of the games that are nominated aren't even released yet.
Yeah.
Oh, unpacking. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So
That was an example, wasn't it?
possibly, I don't remember an exact name, but I know that there are some games that yeah, in the past they might be coming out. So like Stray Gods, was it? That might have been one,
Yeah.
perhaps, like something like that. Where it's coming out like November 10, and these, or maybe not November 10. That's, yeah, well, maybe November 10, but the awards are on October 8. Anyway, but no, I think this year, I think The Drifter is a phenomenal piece of work. Really, really, really good game, and quite interesting on the show floor at PAX. There was a lot of respect for what this game has done in the point and click space. The developer from the game I was talking about before, How Was Your Day? The Drifter essentially convinced her that she could have New Zealand voice acting in her game, because she was like, our accent's quite strong and it can be quite hard to understand, but in the Drifter, they just go full Aussie accent. So and that game did really, really well. So that kind of convinced her that they could have New Zealand voice acting. And we were talking to there was another game, but we were talking to, and I know that they said a lot of good things about the Drifter. So yeah, worthy winner, and it picked up excellent in art. That art style is like awesome as well. Picked up excellence in narrative, which is again phenomenal little story there, and excellence in sound design, which is also really, really cool as well. Other major winners was the excellence in gameplay, which was won by Mars First Logistics, and that only came out late September, so like real late.
I think from like a mechanical standpoint, that's pretty fair too. It's a very dense yet approachable little game. I think it's one that's definitely, it's not personally for me, but I can absolutely understand how impressive that is from a mechanical standpoint for sure.
Yeah.
Always had an eye
And
on that
then
game. Very cool.
then Studio of the Year was Massive Monster, and I guess maybe another one, excellence in debut, like the best debut game there was Proximate by Kane Maddox. So yeah, nice work to all those winners. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's it for news this week. There's not really a great deal else happening, but very glad to shout out some Aussie devs. Very, very cool.
Very, very nice. Well, off topics. Let's go to the stuff. Do you want me to kick it off with a 2000s film of the week?
God, I'd love nothing more. Oh my God, I'd love nothing more.
This one's going to be, I think this is going to be quite easy.
Is it
So I'm
Doom?
going to have to...
Pan's Labyrinth?
No. We've done Pan's Labyrinth.
Passion of the
What do
Christ.
you mean?
Jake Gyllenhaal sees a giant rabbit. No. Okay.
No,
Sorry.
don't do
Oh,
that.
fuck. It's that dark one.
No, so, all right. The family of an FBI agent
Danny
is
Dark
slaughtered
Boy.
by a corrupt businessman who has ties with the underworld. Determined to kill the man and rid the world of evil, he becomes a vigilante.
Kick-Ass?
Yep. What?
No.
The family of an FBI agent is slaughtered by a
Oh.
corrupt businessman who has ties with the underworld. Determined to kill the man and rid the world of evil, he becomes a vigilante.
Actor?
What? Yeah, we're going to need a bit more.
Is it Mr. Denzel? No. Equalizer's probably in the 2010s, isn't it? Mate, I'm scraping here.
The actor will give it away, but I'll give you another clue, and this might give it away. No sequel, but did get a TV series.
What the hell?
I'll give you another clue. The main actor of the film wanted to make his own... wanted a sequel and therefore made his own little short film.
None of these clues are helping at all. It's weird. The synopsis is like both.
I actually thought
Really?
you would... I thought you would get it, to be honest.
Do you
Well,
have a
it's-
director for us, or is that giving
yeah.
it away?
I don't even know who the fuck that is. So it's Jonathan Hensley.
Yeah, it's not doing anything, eh?
Wait.
stars-
Wait. Is it Law-Abiding Citizen?
No, but good guess though. I'll give you that. It's starring John Travolta and Kevin.
I wonder. I probably haven't seen it. I can't stand John
You
Travolta.
you don't want to watch John Travolta in the 2000s.
John Travolta is the bad guy. Just FYI.
Oh, is
Not
this
the main.
No, you said there wasn't a sequel. Yeah, right.
Is it Face Off? We love Face Off.
Too old. That's the 90s. But it
Yeah.
does have a
Is it
guy.
really?
The main
Oh,
actor.
shit.
The main actor is a guy from Face Off. His name is Tom Jane.
It's not The Punisher.
It is the Punisher.
But you
Jesus
said there's
Christ.
no sequel.
There's not a sequel to that film. No,
There is.
no, there's not.
Uh,
The Punisher Warzone?
there is Punisher Warzone, which is
Not with Tom Jane.
Well, no, but
No.
yes. That's what threw me. If I was
Sorry,
thinking
sorry.
the Punisher.
Well, that's why I was
But
like
no,
the
you're
main
right.
guy.
It's not strictly a sequel. It's like
Yeah.
a reboot, isn't it? Yeah. So yep. Good. That's a
TV
good
series
one.
was a cheeky little.
When you said
cheeky
John
little hint.
Travolta, there's only one John Travolta villain I can think of. It's Punisher, and then you said Tom Jane. I'm like, it's the fucking Punisher.
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
be
that-
honest,
that-
I can't remember John Travolta being in it, and I don't know how that's
well,
possible.
he was basically could have been anyone. But no, I
Yeah,
don't
good.
know if you've ever seen it, but Tom Jane funded a little thing called Dirty Laundry. I don't know if you've ever seen it, right?
Didn't
Have you
know
ever seen it?
this.
It's like fucking 12 minutes long. It's fucking awesome. It is very, very, very cool.
Interesting.
If you got 12 minutes, he did it for like Comic-Con or something like that because he really, really wanted to make a very violent Punisher film. So he did this little short film. It's like, seriously, it's like, it might not even be 12 minutes. But it's fucking sick. You should watch it. Anyway, a little bit of trivia from The Punisher because I thought you would love this. This is on IMDb, so I don't know how. I'm assuming this is true, right? While filming their knife fight scene, Thomas Jane accidentally stabbed Kevin Nash.
Yes, this is true. Kevin Nash has talked about it.
Nash accepted cold beers from the film crew as compensation.
Yep. Kevin Nash is a fucking dead set legend. And yes, I've heard him talk on multiple podcasts about that exact thing.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's great.
I thought that was quite humorous. I really like quite. It's got 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. You can watch it on Binge, Netflix, or you can rent it on the YouTube for $3.99 if you're really desperate. But I quite liked it.
I rate
Quite
it. I
liked it.
think it's a decent enough movie.
I didn't care too much for it, but I'm interested in Dirty Laundry. I see that Adi Shanker's the producer. That's the Castlevania Netflix.
And it's got Ron Perlman in
Dude.
it.
Oh my god. Yeah, right.
Ron Perlman's like the, what do you call the second actor? The supporting
Sounds
cast? He's
awesome.
Like, yeah. Like, dude, seriously, after this podcast, just give yourself
10 minutes.
10 minutes. 10 minutes and watch it.
10 minutes Battlefield time. I don't know.
Do it for daddy.
Do
All
it
right.
for daddy.
All right.
All right. Cool.
That was
Has anybody
fun,
else
man.
watched?
Good job.
Thank you. Has anybody else watched anything that they want to talk about?
Have you ever seen One Battle After Another yet?
Not yet. I do
No, it's
want
on the
to, though.
list.
Yes, I saw that last week.
Good.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I mean, like it's a thumbs up, but like there's a lot of hype around it, or at least my bubble suggests there's a lot of hype around it.
Yeah, it's the second coming of Christ.
If you go in with that expectation, I think you're going to be sorely disappointed. It's just another Paul Thomas Anderson film with a higher budget. It's like if you went to see a new Quentin Tarantino movie and expected it to be like the best film you'd see that year. Like, it's a great film, but it's no bring it back. So yeah, Sean Penn does a fantastic villain in it. Of course, because he seems like a shit bloke, so he does a great villain. And Leo, I thought Leo was like going to be a bigger presence in the film. He's not. And that's not a bad thing. It just gives the co-stars much more time to shine, and they are probably the stronger element of the film. It's a fun film, but I don't think you need to like rush out and go and watch it. I was seeing all these watch on the biggest screen you can, biggest sound system. Nah, you'll have a fun time, but don't break your back to go see it.
Okay. Adam, you watched anything?
Nah, fuck all, mate. Absolutely fuck all. Only Battlefield. Battlefield is the only thing that matters.
Alrighty.
Matters.
I smashed out Final Destination's Bloodlines. Stinker.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Hold on. Stop everything, because we were sitting in a Thai place, having dinner with KV, and well, when you dropped this bombshell,
and Christy, come on, don't leave Christy out.
Oh yes, sorry, and Christy and Key. So all of us having a wonderful time, chomping down on some satay. It was a wonderful time. Pad Thai was good. Good shout. And yeah, you dropped this little nugget that you didn't like it. But then we quickly moved on to another topic, and I didn't get to pick your brain about it.
Yeah, I forgot we even talked about it.
Explain yourself. This is wild.
You didn't like Final Destination Bloodline?
No. I just thought it was. I thought it was actually very shit in the end. I don't really know.
I mean, they're not supposed to be good movies.
I know, but I'd heard relatively decent things. Like, it was actually. I quite like a lot of the. I do quite like a lot of the Final Destination films, but this one just didn't.
See, that's the part that doesn't add up to me. If you like some of the other ones,
I don't know.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. What did Anna think?
Isaac's just grown up since you last watched him.
Disgusting. Don't do that.
It didn't have subtitles. No, I was warmer on it than she was. She was not impressed. She was waiting for it to finish so she could roll over and go to sleep. We did watch Weapons.
Yeah, right.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was anything amazing though.
I would also say has been a tad overhyped. I enjoyed it. Didn't think it was.
I like it more. Yeah, I like it more the more distance I have from it. I walked out thinking, nah, that was a bit shit, and then I've softened on it. But I also think the marketing campaign did a disservice to it, because it's like a horror comedy, if anything, and it was really not marketed as one. It was marketed as something that was going to scare the absolute living shit out of me, so I went in with weird expectations.
Yeah.
It's good though.
Finished Black Rabbit, which ended a little bit predictable, but it was still relatively good. I think Jude Law and Bateman were fantastic, really, really good in that. Worth, I think, almost worth the watch alone. Now you're just holding back on slow horses to give it a few eps so I can just dive in and binge that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I've started watching Wayward, which is the every time I forget her name, Tony Collette.
Yep.
Oh,
Hereditary.
yes, right. Yes, yes. I'm not
Um,
too aware of this.
pretty good so far. It's okay. So it's basically about a school in the middle of, let's just say, bumfuck nowhere, and
Mhm.
it's like a kid reform school. It's about, they send troubled kids there, in air quotes, to basically get fixed, and a lot of
Right,
kids
like
that have no home or whatever, and it's kind of about that. I missed that.
That's
maybe
all right. I think the
So
trailer that I've seen from it was odd, but in kind of a cool way. And I think Tony Collette fucking rules. So
she's
I am.
she's very good. It's slowing down a little bit. It's not quite.
Eh.
It had me a little bit, gave me a little bit of, but hasn't quite sealed the deal yet. So
All right. Well,
anyway,
I'll eagerly await next week once you've
the
inevitably watched that and Slow Horses.
speaking of
Slow
eagerly,
Horses Slow Horses might be a
Peacemaker.
couple of weeks away. Peacemaker.
Fuck no, I'm not paying for HBO Max as well as fucking Prime.
Wild, isn't it?
Eat a dick. I'm not doing it.
All right. Anything else we want to chat about? Actually, I got a fucking gripe. It's a very, very
Oh,
1
here we
minute
go.
gripe. One minute.
Just when we get to the finish line every week.
Come on, mate.
This is
I'll
no,
give you
this is
3 and then we're cutting.
no, but this is off topic. You know what fucking shits me is when fucking places do pre-sale. That's fine, okay, well, whatever. My bad for missing it. I'm the arsehole. But like, don't sell all your tickets during fucking pre-sale, dog. I went to get tickets to a headline show. Only they're playing it at Stay Gold, which is, if you know that venue, it's a very, very small venue here in Brunswick in Melbourne. Got there at 1 p.m. because I didn't realize that there was a pre-sale. Got there at 1 p.m. when the tickets unlocked. Gone. There was literally no tickets available at general sale. They all had been sold during pre-sale. I thought there was a fucking glitch with the system, so I emailed them being like, oh, is something going on? Because, well, no, I wasn't fucking sure. Right, there was just there were no tickets. There's just nothing.
Yeah.
It just kept
Where are the
saying,
tickets?
so that fucking pissed me off.
I'm
And
sorry,
then
man.
3 days later, they replied being like, "This show sold out." I'm like, "Yeah, fucking thanks."
No
mate."
shit.
But just if it sells out during pre-sale, just fucking let us know. Anyway, thank you for listening to this episode of the WellPlayed DLC podcast. If you want to check out the content, you can go to www.well-played.com.au. You can check out Adam's Battlefield 6 review and a bunch of other juicy little stuff there. Hopefully some PAX write-ups live for you to feast on. You can check us out on the socials, Blue Sky, which is at WellPlayed, and then the YouTube, which is WellPlayed _AU, which is the same as the Twitter thing, and then Facebook is something in there. You put WellPlayed, you'll see the teal, and you can like it. Thank you. Other than that, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. And FC Vaduz!
Jesus Christ. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Yeah.
See you next week. Bye.
Well, I'll see you then.